Thank you very much for another session with NICALINGUE Let's Talk event. In today's class, we will be talking about tips on how to answer the question, what is your greatest weakness? We will have a special co-host, which is Katia, and she's a language trainer and marketer advisor, and myself, Nestor, language trainer as well, and English and NICALINGUE CEO. In today's event, we will be talking about this question, which is what is your greatest weakness? We're going to be sharing with you what are basically the tips what you need to do and what not to do in this question or how to answer this question. So before we move any further, I need to talk to you first about Let's Talk. So let me introduce to you my co-host, which is Kate. Kate, can you please show up today? How are you doing today? How
Hi,
are you?
I'm pretty good. A little bit tired receiving the summer here because it's really hot and the sun it's very tiny in here. But yeah, I'm pretty good. What about you, Nestor? How you doing?
Well, first things first, I just want to say thank you very much for your time, for actually showing up to this event. I do really appreciate the time. And also, I'm really happy to see you again since the last time we shoot a video was maybe a week ago or something like that. And now that I have you back here, I can tell you that I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about all these events that we have been running at Nicalingue and especially with Let's Talk, where hundreds and hundreds of students are just joining and they just want to improve their speaking or they just want to improve their vocabulary, pronunciation, fluency, and we do it through all these kind of events. So I'm pretty excited, and one more time, thank you very much. Right.
Well, thank you very much to you for inviting me and making me part of this. I know it's very important for you, and I really appreciate and I'm grateful for the opportunity that you give me to share my experience, to share my knowledge. I know you do this because you care your students, and of course you care about the people who hasn't started yet. You are care and worry about that, so that's why I support you, and still I'm very grateful for everything. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. So one of the things that we're going to be covering today before we move into our today's event, it's we're going to be talking about what is Let's Talk. And as everybody may have an idea, Let's Talk, it's basically a speaking club where you can improve your vocabulary, pronunciation, increase your speaking time. And the way that we do this is that we give you a material where you need to read it, you need to answer the questions, and we see what are your comments about it, what is your opinions about the topic in our private sessions, right? And the basically, in order for you to participate, in order for you to be part of Let's Talk event, it's pretty easy. You only need have access to internet. Nowadays, with smartphones, with the large screen, you can also have access to our private sessions. And the most important part right here is that at least you have an A2 level or 45% or intermediate English level, so you can participate in this kind of events. Let's start. So I'm gonna be sharing with you the information about Let's Talk so you can have access to the website and you can check up all those requirements that we you need in order for you to participate in Let's Talk. So now we're gonna be covering or we're gonna be talking about what is your greatest weakness, right? This question it's very you need to be cautious, right, about what you're going to be saying here because the employer, what he or she wants to know, it's whether you are qualified to the job, right? So I'm going to be presenting you a video and we're going to be talking about the video, about these answers, and let's go ahead and get started. So let's see.
As a product manager, I don't have background in sales. But I knew that it would be useful to be able to communicate with that team. So I actually took a sales course online. And I think it's really made me a better PM. Not only am I better able to communicate with that team, but it's also helped me to sell my ideas as well.
All right. Okay. So we have Kate comments. What do you think about her answer, Kate?
I really love her answer. It's very practical. First of all, it's very practical. It's very realistic. And the good thing about this response is that she was honest. And she used her weakness to convert it in something is something better. For example, she said that she didn't have experience to communicate with people, or she didn't have experience to like a leader and a specialist in sales, which is very competitive. It's a really competitive market. I'm pretty sure about that. And then she just decided to take a course to overcome that. And in that way, that's the way she found a solution. So I love the answer. I will say this is one of the good answer, the best answer that someone could provide when it comes to this question. She was honest. She was positive, which is very important on any questions. Not only on this one. When you are on an interview, you always need to try to sound positive, and that's what she did. So I will say that it's a really good answer. It really is. Yes.
I agree 100% on what you're saying. I like her version, or I like her answer, because she's talking about one of her greatest weakness, right? But she is turning that weakness into a positive thing or into her strength. This is very important. She is a PM. PM means or stands for project manager. A project manager is the leader, right? It's the person who needs to know everything about everything. But actually, she's been really honest. She says that she doesn't have any experience in sales, but she took an online course. Okay, see, she took an online course about sales. She doesn't have any experience in sales, but the online course helped her to basically sell her ideas. So she is taking one of the negative part that she doesn't have for the job, and she is turning into a positive thing, because now she's selling her idea and everybody in the team can follow what she says. So I totally back up this answer, because this is the kind of answer you need to give. And we're going to give you tips on how to answer what is your greatest weakness. Right now, we are just giving you some examples how people actually respond these questions. We got positive side and we got not that well side, which will be in the negative. Let's take a look at the following part of the video, and let's do an analysis about that.
Me to sell my ideas as well.
Honestly, I can't think of any weaknesses. I'm really proud of the work that I do.
Okay. So what do you think about this one, Kate?
I will say that it is true that it's very important to have confidence in yourself and to be. I'm totally agree with that. However, this is more than just confidence. This person it sounds like an arrogant person, actually. And it doesn't transmit like he is saying the truth. For me, if I were the person making the interview to someone and that person tell me I don't have any weakness, I'm gonna take that like a lie. Because let's be honest, I mean, everybody in the same, everybody has something that is that maybe we should work on that, or it's or area of opportunity. So it's not, definitely that's not the answer. Please don't ever respond like that. Don't do it. It's it's not secure, it's not good, it's not positive, it's no, not at all. No.
It's true. I mean, yeah, definitely. This is not the way. This is not the behavior. This is not the attitude. This is not the kind of person that a hiring manager is going to hire, right? Or to provide a contract or an offer to a job position. Because facing the fact, everybody needs something where to improve. We are human, right? And we make mistakes, and we are not 100% perfect. So there are always opportunities where you can improve. This kind of answers actually shows that, oh yes, I'm the best employee in the world, and oh yes, I can do this. That's nothing that can stop me to do it. So this kind of answer is not a really great answer. What you are just showing, it's your arrogance. You're being arrogant. You're being rude. You're being impolite to what the hiring manager is just perceiving with this kind of situation. So keep in mind the following: the hiring manager, the recruiter, they are just basically looking for indicators that can tell the hiring manager or the recruiter that you have a really good candidate for the position, that you are able to learn new things and new challenge. Remember, even though if you already have some experience in a certain position, it doesn't mean that you're gonna be doing the same thing in the new company. Companies are different. The name on one company is not, or the title in one company is not going to be the same title in another company. So you need to keep that in mind. So we're going to give you tips on how to answer this actually question, right? But first, let's take a look at the negative part. Kate, can you please read them?
Okay. I don't have any weaknesses. I do my best, so everything I do is perfect.
What do you think about these answers?
Still, it's totally, you're providing like a negative impression. You know what I was about to say about the whole thing you just said right now? This is very important. Company, they really take care about the experience. They really do. They really care about that. However, nowadays, most of the companies, they love to find the way to provide feedback to their employees. And if someone responds with this answer like, I don't have any weaknesses, I do my best, so I'm perfect, and everything I do is perfect, for me, I'm taking like, so in the future, if I want to give you any feedback about what you're doing, you wouldn't take that in consideration, or you're not gonna do anything to improve. I'm pretty sure that you have a really good skills, that you are effective, that you in your past you really did a good things in a different company. But now this is a different company. This is another enterprise. This is another industry. And if if you tell me that everything you do is perfect, so for me, you are not a person who is open to feedback. So you are not a person who is open to grow up in knowledge. So yeah, I'm still not agree with these answers. I believe they transmit something different, and maybe the person who respond like that, they are not. Maybe they respond like that without knowing that it's negative. Maybe they do have weakness. Maybe they do know. Maybe they accept feedback, but they go more for the confidence style. So they are like, I'd rather to respond like I'm unconfident, I'm insecure about myself. So maybe it could be tricky for some people. And that's why you have to be careful about it.
That's right. It's very tricky to actually to understand what the hiring manager is asking you through these questions, because most likely we don't think about our weaknesses, right? We must think about what the things we can do, because if we talk about weaknesses, maybe I'm not going to get the job. But one of the things that we need to keep in mind is that we need to be completely honest about this answer. And we're going to give you the tips in just a little bit. But let me first read the second or the third example. Take a look at this example. I think I don't have any weaknesses, but when I worked for XYZ, which is the name of the company, I realized my coworkers were very lazy. So I was not able to finish my work on time. Wow. I mean, this is very, very rude, talking about somebody else when the question is about you, right? What's your creative weakness? I truly believe that this is not the kind of answer that you should give in a job interview, because you are venting. You are just venting what happened to you with your coworkers in the company where you are still working or you are about to leave because you're looking for something new. And actually, me as a hiring manager, listen to this kind of answers. Believe me, I'm gonna tell you, okay, thank you very much for your time, and I hopefully, we're gonna be in contact. This is what everybody says after a job interview, right? And
Yes.
but facing the truth, they're gonna give you a call because the kind of answer you just provide is not the right one, right? It's not the right one. Would you like to add something else to this?
Yes, actually, this type of answer, it gives me the impression that this person, it doesn't find solutions. I mean, he doesn't take responsibility of their actions. And in case that something it happens and it's out of his own control, it's something, but he can try to do something to change it. Okay, if you believe that it's because of your co-workers that you were not able to succeed or you were not able to finish your task effectively, why you didn't do anything? Why you didn't talk to them? Why you didn't provide feedback? Why you didn't change the process? So actually, if someone responds like this, is giving me the answer that this person is not troubleshooting. He doesn't take
Absolutely.
responsibility about their actions, and there's someone that I don't need to have it. I'm sorry.
And that's right. This is not the kind of person you will need to face a problem in a company. At the end, you are going to be in the company because you're going to be facing or trying to look for solution to any kind of situation. This is what the hiring manager is looking for at the end, or the recruiter, or any person who is an owner of a company is looking for people that are very responsible on their feet to manage or control or to lead or to provide answers to a situation, right? So now, narrowing down exactly how can we answer this question, right? What is your creative weakness? What to say? What to think about this? One of the things that we need to keep in mind is that we need to think about a weakness that you can turn into a strength. How are you going to do that? Well, you need to keep in mind, first things first, what are the main responsibilities the company is looking for? So you are going to pick a weakness, right? A weakness that it doesn't match the description of the core or of the requirements the company is looking for. So you talk about that weakness that you have, but then you can turn it into a strength. As the video that was just saw, the girl just mentioned in the previous video that she didn't have any kind of experience on sales, but she took a course, and after the course, she was able to sell her ideas to their teams. Step number 2, Kate's going to be talking about step number 2. Can you please go ahead and tell us what can we do in this case, Kate?
Okay. Don't talk about weaknesses that prevent you from doing the job. Yes, this is very important. I mean, it is true that you have to be honest, I'm totally agree with that.
Absolutely.
But don't try to be don't try to be too much honest. For
That's right.
example, uh, I will say that a weakness that will not allow you to take the job, it's, for example, if you are not good, if you are not kind to people, or you don't like customer service, but you are applying for a company who cares about customer service.
That's true. I mean, yes, you know,
I mean, you will never.
that's a good point. Yes, this is a really amazing point that you just brought today. And just imagine you're applying to a call center, and then you are talking to the recruiter manager, and you say to the recruiter manager, you know what, I do have experience here in Nicaragua, how customer service is really bad, but I don't give a piece of paper, right? I don't care about that, right? I just feel
Exactly.
that it's worthless. So how can you go into that? How can you be that? How can you be yourself in that interview? Talking to a recruiter person that is looking for a person who takes care about customer service, and
Mhm.
you just give a piece of paper, right? So it's not the right answer that you should give. Absolutely not at all. So don't be too honest, right? Too honest. It's very important.
Exactly.
It's crucial to be honest, but don't be. You need to play. You need to play a little bit smart. I know that playing smart sounds. It might sound not well, but
Yeah,
one of
like a gamer.
yeah, like a gamer. But you need to be smart, right? If the company is looking for people that are really good at numbers, you're gonna be saying that you're not really good at numbers. I mean, you need to be smart in what is going to be the kind of answer you're going to be
Exactly.
provided. Uh, and one of the important things that you should always keep in mind is that you should never say, I don't have any weaknesses. Remember, as we have spoke before, yes, we do have weaknesses, right? Kate has weaknesses. When she went to different job interviews, she passed through all these, and these questions are just there. What are your greatest weaknesses, or what is your greatest weaknesses? Then they actually they're not gonna ask you for a list. Okay, I have like a 10 weaknesses, right? They're just asking you what is your greatest weaknesses, and you're gonna be talking about that. And we're gonna give you right now the tools on how to answer this, right? Remember, number one, you need to think about the weakness and turn it into a strength. You need to talk about, or don't talk about the weakness that you maybe have, but prevent you doing the job that you need to do. And don't ever say that you don't have any weakness. So we got the example right there. And the example number one says, sometimes I can be too critical of myself and my work. I have spent a lot of time reviewing all my work to make sure it was perfect. Now I've learned to trust my skills and not to get caught up in all the insignificant details. So, what do you think about this, Kate? What do you think about this answer?
I believe that this is a really good answer. This is the answer that the interviewer is looking for. You say something negative about yourself, but at the same time, it's not that negative, because the fact to be too critical about the things that you do, I will say that it's something positive, because you are taking care. You really care what you do. You are responsible of what you do, and you care that the work that you're doing, it's good. It's okay. Maybe I will say that, yes, the negative is that you waste time reviewing what you did, and maybe it's okay, it's all right. And in that time, you probably could be doing another thing. But then the person explains, they realize that everything is in confidence, and to trust in your work and to let it there. And then try
Absolutely.
to continue with other tasks. So I will say it's really good. It's really good. He he the in the example, it is the idea, and then the part of like kind of negative, that for me it's not that negative. And than the positive. I will say that the purpose of these questions, what is your greatest weakness, is to find, I will say that for me, this is the way that I feel. The interviewer wants to know if you are capable to turn things negative into positive. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good analogy what you're making just right there. It's basically they are looking for people who are really prepared. If even though they don't have any kind of experience, if they are willing to make any change so they can improve what they're doing. As you mentioned earlier, nowadays companies they have their based on feedback, right? If you go to a call center industry, they're gonna take you out of the phones and they're gonna giving you feedback on how to treat customers well if you are doing it bad. And this is the way that it works, right? So at the end, because customers are the one that put money into our pockets, right? This is very important. So they're gonna do whatever it takes in order for you to change that habit, and it could be turned into positive thing. However, if you don't have this kind of ability, right, obviously or eventually you won't be any longer, you're not going to be longer in the company, being really honest with you. And none company in the world would like to keep somebody that is not willing to do something different, something positive for people, right? In call center, we call it going to the extra mile, right? Okay, okay. Now, so we brought to you something new, right? We're gonna be answering this question: how Kay would answer this question, or how myself how would answer this question. So, let me go ahead and do the role play of the interview. So, imagine, guys, I'm gonna be the recruiter, and Kate is gonna be the person who is going through the position. She's running for the position. So I asked Kate. So Kate, what's your greatest weakness?
Sometimes when I am under pressure and I have to do things fast, my mind gets blocked about what I'm doing and it makes me waste more time. So I start to value the quality of my actions instead of doing my task faster. So I can save time and finish them up prompt and effectively.
Okay. All right. So me as a hiring manager is telling me that she is aware of her situation. She knows exactly what happened, or she knows exactly what's going on with her when she's under pressure. Under pressure means for her that she cannot work fast, or she maybe can take decision promptly, and maybe it's not going to be the good decision for the company. However, at the same time, she is telling me that she has been learning through her experience to value the quality of her actions, which means the quality of her assertiveness, right? Instead of doing the task faster. And the good part about this is that when you are so sure about something, you can finish your task without thinking over and over and over again. Is it this task correct, or is this it should it be changed or something like that? It means that at the end you turn yourself effectively. So I will give Kate a 10 out of 10 in this answer, because obviously it's telling me what's her situation and what she's doing or what she have done through the past to change this behavior. Now, we're going to be changing our role. Kate's going to be the manager, right? The hiring manager. Obviously, I'm going to be playing the person who is running for the position, right?
Yeah. So, Nestor, tell me, what is your greatest weakness?
I'm not really good at numbers. It takes me it takes some time for me to do a subtraction. And the most difficult one, or the most difficult operation, will be divisions, right? But nowadays with technology, I carry either my cell phone or my calculator pocket. So I can be sure when it comes to this mathematical operation, I'm gonna be good at it, right? Now, however, if you give me a piece of paper, I can do actually a very good math. But when it comes to mentally thinking about the operation, I'm really bad at it. So that's why I am. That's those are these two things. Are basically part of my weakness.
All right. So I believe that yes, it's a really good question. It's a really good answer. You stand up for the negative, the weakness that you find in yourself, and then you explain the techniques that you use or you practice to overcome that weakness. This is another thing. You this is this is something different because you are like exposing your tips that you use for yourself, like you are always doing that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And actually, this is something that happens to me. I'm not really good at numbers, right? We need to accept that. But as I mentioned before, I'm not applying as an accountant, right? I'm not going for a job as an accountant or as a person that is going to be working for numbers all day long. And if we talk about sales, sales is just about convincing people why this product is so good, why this product is going to be, what are the benefits of this product. And pretty much that's not about numbers. And when it comes to numbers, it's only a small fraction of seconds. Like, okay, what's the price? And then you talk about the price. Okay, and what's the discount? So you can take your calculator out of your pocket and then you may just do the multiplication in order for you to follow on or continue with the conversation. Now, if you are an accountant, obviously you need to have an ability of numbers because your job is going to be about numbers, right? That's going to be your job about. So you need to be very careful on what weakness you're going to be pick up for you to then to change it into a positive thing, right? So what's today's activity? We have created a group on Facebook. The name of the group is facebook.com/group/talk. Let's talk Nicalingue. And this is the main idea. You write down a draft of your answer, and in the links below, in the description below of this session, of this activity, of this event, you're gonna have a link where you can go to that group, right? And then you can post your answer there. And randomly, we're gonna be choosing people. We're gonna be picking people, right? To invite them to a free session. This is gonna be completely free. It's not gonna be any kind of charge at all. And the only thing you need to do is to write your answer, right? Just write it down in your answer. Go to the link in the Facebook group, Let's Talk Nicalingue, and just write it down. Then I'm going to invite you to a private session as we are having it right now, Kate and myself. And we're going to be talking about your answer and how you can improve this kind of answer, right? So I just want to say one more time, thank you, Kate, for your time. It was my pleasure one more time to have you this in today's event. Basically, we are we are running out of the month. The month is at its end right now. So I hopefully expect that we can see each other in future events talking about other things like politics or social things or economic things, right?
Yeah, I'm totally agree. And still, thank you so much for inviting me and making me part of this. And well, for the people who is watching this, you are more than welcome to ask questions or assistance, the questions that you ever had about your English language, or your just do it, and especially take advantage of that live session that it's free, and you have to take advantage of that. That will be my advice. And to take advantage of all the videos that, of course, there are on NICALINGUE page on Facebook. Take advantage of this, especially when if you're about to take the interview, if you're about to apply for that job and you don't have any idea how to respond, I mean, don't go too far away. Just search for that on Facebook, on NICALINGUE's page, and you will see the answer. You will see examples. And if you need help, you have me, you have Nestor to assist you, to help you. We know what it's be in your place. That's another reason that motivate us to help you, of course, and to provide information.
Perfect. Thank you one more time, Kate, and I hope to see you in future events, right?
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
See you for now. All right, so now let me go ahead and talk about actually what is Let's Talk. Let me turn to Spanish. Es un club de conversación de 12 semanas enfocado a mejorar tu vocabulario, pronunciación, fluidez. A través de un examen nos damos cuenta cuál es tu nivel de inglés y en base a resultados pues trabajamos en la área de oportunidades. Las sesiones son todos los viernes de cada mes. Tenemos diferentes horarios, tenemos tanto presencial como online. Y lo más importante de esto es de que el cupo es limitado. 6 personas online, 10 personas presencial, ¿verdad? Trabajamos con personas que están realmente comprometidas a mejorar con su inglés y pues estamos con las puertas abiertas para poderles apoyar. Voy a dejarles por acá abajo las descripciones, la información de Let's Talk, ¿verdad? Y sobre todo tengan en cuenta que tienen la oportunidad de practicar su respuesta con un especialista en lengua de la pregunta que acabamos de abarcar el día de hoy, que es ¿cuál es tu mayor debilidad? Right? Bueno, no me queda nada más que decir muchísimas gracias por su tiempo y nos vemos muy pronto, right? So see you soon, people, and have a beautiful weekend. Bye for now.